This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That is Sean Williams.
What's up, Big O?
How you doing, baby? You doing good?
Oh yeah, man, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Bro, you got a full beard now.
I know it's growing. It's getting gray though. The kids, you know.
I know, brother. I know. When I grow the beard, there's a lot of gray. So far, I've been lucky, bro. I haven't had, for 56. You got to figure I'm 56 now. Okay, so you would figure I would have a lot more grays at 56. So I've been really fortunate to keep that at bay. But when I grow the goatee and the beard, forget about it, dude. The grays come out. The age. You know what I'm saying?
I got them. I mean, the grays are there, so I'll be much worse than you at 56 for sure. Probably bald too.
Sean Williams, of course, the owner of Essential Moving Experts and obviously proud sponsor of our Omar Kelly segment every week here on the program, stationed in Daytona. That's where the headquarters are at. Of course, you can reach out to them anywhere in the United States. They take care of you. But he's also a huge Dolphins fan. So, Sean, I wanted to have a little fun like I did with Cam. So, Tremaine Edmonds is out there. Bobby Wagner's out there. Levante David's out there. David Long Jr. is out there. Jermaine Pratt from the Bengals. Some pretty good linebackers. This is actually a really good year to find a veteran middle linebacker for this team. So, if Sean Williams was in charge, where would Sean go with that free agent selection?
I heard a little bit of the end of what you and Cam were talking about. I like his points. If you go with safety, if you go high end safety like a Poyer, you can't go with an Edmonds. But if I was going to pick one without any information about who else we get in free agency, I would go with Edmonds for the same reason. He's going to be a more long-term piece, and a middle linebacker for a long period of time has been something we've missed. I mean, we might have had one or two here and there, but when have we had one for multiple years since
Zach?
Before I was probably born.
Yeah, it's Zach, bro. Zach was the last guy. I mean, Carlos Dansby was pretty decent. He couldn't cover, but he did all the other things pretty good. But we haven't had a linebacker that can go sideline to sideline and run a team since Zach, bro.
My pick would be Edmonds, but if you look at Fangio, if his priority is tackle and safety, and you're going to go big on one of those, then you go get a Bobby Wagner for, like you said, 2-year deal, making not a big cap hit the second year. If it works out, you extend them. If it doesn't, then you can, upgrade from there. But I like Edmonds, and, it's always nice to steal anybody from in the division too.
Yeah, no, that's see, the thing is, I don't think they'll have the money for both those guys because they have to re-sign Sealer and Wilkins.
Right.
Those guys have to be re-signed. That is a must to bring those guys. See, and here's where I disagree a little bit with Cam. I think they're strong at defensive tackle. Actually.
Me too.
You know what I mean? And I'm hoping that because I've been a little disappointed with Raekwon, I'm hoping that Fangio can get more out of Raekwon than any of the other guys have so far. But I love their defensive tackle spot. And at safety, I still would like to see Brandon Jones in that role to see if he can help him out. But they don't have linebackers, bro. They don't have a thumper in the middle. They really need a captain of that defense. To me, that is one of the most important needs that this team has this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think deep tackle starters, they're as good as – it's probably one of our best position groups. Maybe some depth we need. Safety, I think, like, if you look at what do we need to get to the next level, what is the defense missing? It's linebacker. If you look specifically on what he's going to want, that's different. But if it's me, my only big free agent splash is a middle linebacker. Everything else is going to be middle players, some depth players. The one big splash I'm going to do is linebacker because I feel like that's the only thing. Even like O-line, tight end, like we need those. We need corner, but they didn't hurt us last year. They didn't kill us last year. We need a little depth. We might need a couple more mid-tier players, but the only thing we're really, really missing is a 3-down linebacker. I mean, you can do it with E-Rob for, 2 downs, and you can sprinkle a little bit of Baker and, Riley in there, but a 3-down linebacker is the one big hole I think we're missing. And I go with an Emmons because he's gonna grow with the team in the future. I mean, yeah, we're in win now, but we still have young developing players. Tyree signed a big contract. Armstead signed a big contract. We have a 4 or 5 year, maybe not cap window because we're going to have to sign Tua, but we have a 4 or 5 year window where the players who are good and core players will be here.
Yeah, no, and actually the only blessing out of the stuff that went on with Tua is that he can't get a new contract right now. He can't ask for one. They're not going to give him one. So you either pick up the 5th-year option or let him play it out and then tag him after that. But either way, you have bought yourself
2 more years,
couple of extra years before you have to pay, and maybe even a 3rd year, because you could buy yourself the 4th and 5th year, and then the 6th year, which is his first year of his deal, you don't pay him the 40, 50 million. You pay him like 10 or 15. You lower the number and then backload, the rest of that money into the final years of the contract. And yeah, you'll raise those numbers, but it'll buy you that extra year where you can add those pieces around him and try to win that title if you can. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the only bright spot out of this whole thing, that you've bought yourself another year with Tua. How you feeling about Tua? What do you think they need? Where do you look at how Tua needs to kind of take care of himself? In other words,
I think his team and his trainers just need to have a conversation with him and say, hey, we love, this attitude of sometimes I need to put my head down and run through people, but don't throw the ball away. Don't take away your it factor. Don't, stop being you. Buy a little time, make a little spin move. That's fine. But when the play is dead, the play is dead. Josh Allen's a big boy, but even he gets himself in trouble trying to do too much.
That's not going to end well, dude.
Yeah.
That's not going to end well.
It's not going to end well for him. He's a big guy. So it's definitely not going to end well for you when you have a lot of injuries and you're smaller. So I think he's aware that he's done all he needed to do to prove he's an upper echelon quarterback, an elite quarterback. I think he's got everything with the system now. I think this offseason, you work on sliding, you work on throwing the ball all the way, you work on, that type of stuff. I like the judo thing. I like, maybe he'll do a little jiu-jitsu or something. That stuff could help, learn how to fall.
Yes, it can help.
I'm a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I did some karate growing up and stuff. So it definitely can teach you how to properly fall, how to, move your body, put your arms down the right way. And
it's helped me a couple of times over my lifetime that I've fallen and I know how to roll because I took judo. And so it's something that gets stuck in your mind. Once you've done it for a while, once you do judo or something martial arts like that for a couple of years, it'll stick in your mind, those kind of things. And it's actually saved my ass from getting hurt, being able to know how to, okay, when I'm falling and I learn how to roll and break the fall.
I play hockey and I'm a smaller guy. So when I take big hits, guys are like, sometimes come over like, I'm not going to be able to get up. And I'll get right up. And a lot of it is just knowing how to take the hit, how to take the fall, how to absorb that the right way. Some people learn it and some people don't. And I think he'll be fine. He didn't have injuries this year. Concussions are freak things.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be, I think this year kind of proved that. But like you said, maybe it all happened for a reason. Maybe the concussions happen in order to buy us a little more time and actually save us from giving them the big extension this year and extend our window a little bit, unintentionally. Maybe it will all work out for the best, actually.
Were you, because I got a buddy of mine that's like, oh, he's kind of sour about all of this and sour about Tua and all this. And for me, I'm actually super psyched about the season because I look at it more as this wasn't a bad team. This wasn't that they were choking. This wasn't that they had terrible coaching. This wasn't that they were, poorly mismanaged so badly that this is why, like other Dolphin seasons have ended.
Yep.
No, man, for me, it was all about bad luck, dude. Every bad break in the book, from getting Teddy Bridgewater thrown out in that Jets game when he didn't have to get thrown out, to all of the freak injuries that happened, not just with Tua, but with a bunch of other players, even the Byron Jones shit to start off the season. Like, holy crap, the guy was supposed to be ready at the beginning of the year. He had his surgery and everything and doesn't, everything and anything that could have gone wrong To me, that's what I blame this season on, more on bad luck than anything else. If the Dolphins get the good breaks this season, I think we'll see a much different Dolphin team. So for me, I'm not letting these people cloud my shit, all offseason. I'm super jacked about the draft, free agency, the offseason, Zach getting into the Hall of Fame, all of that stuff. I think if you're a Dolphins fan, you got a lot to look forward to. That's the way I look at it. I don't know
Yeah,
about you.
I think that last year with a healthy team, we're a 1-2 win playoff team easily.
Me too.
You look at the things that held us back: crazy freak injuries. Not one of our backup quarterbacks that came in got to finish the game. You look at the O-line injuries. Austin Jackson's out the whole season. Not that we know what he is going to be or if he's going to be anything. Liam Eichberg, and then Armstead missed how many games? And then you look at McDaniel's first year of coaching, the things he struggled with, the clock management, some of the play calling and stuff like that.
Fixable.
He's very, very self-aware, I feel like. He's going to take a hard look at all that, and he's going to fix it. That's my belief. I think
I agree.
He's humble enough. He's smart enough. He's going to really evaluate that, work on that. He's better at that next year. We stay healthy. Tua does what he did the year before. You add the pieces that we need to add. I mean, there's no reason. I remember in the joint practices against the Eagles, reading the beat writers' reports from the Eagles saying, holy crap, this is the only time I've ever felt like the Eagles got whooped in a joint practice by the Dolphins. Eagles
I was there. I saw it. The Dolphins were the better team for those couple of days. They were the better team at that moment.
Without Byron Jones, without and that's with our team healthy. So you go and you get a healthy team and you get Mike McDaniel to, learn from his few mistakes that he made. You got Vic Fangio running the defense now. There's no reason that, to say you're going to go your first run at it to the Super Bowl is hard, but there's no reason that you're not a contender and you're in the top 5 of the AFC.
I'm with you. By the way, if you guys need to move from city to city, county to county, state to state, across the state, 305-602-8369. Their home base is in Daytona, but they're not just a Florida company. They work all throughout the country. Sean, tell them a little bit about Essential Moving Experts, my man.
Yeah, we got a lot of pre-summer deals going on right now. May, June, July gets crazy. It gets, all through summer. Kids are out of school, everything. If you book in advance, you can save, almost 40% on what it would cost you to move. So you can still move May, June, July when it's busy. But if you book now when it's the slower season, before the busier season, you're going to save a ton of money. We service local. We just did one in Miami today. So we do Miami, Daytona, all Florida, and then we do state to state. So we'll do interstate, anything from California to Florida and everything in between. Whatever you need, give us a call. But, you get a free estimate over the phone. So no commitments needed. You can at least call and see if, what we offer is what you're looking for.
You said May, June, July is the peak season for moving.
Yep.
And I never knew that, but I'm trying to put one and one together. Let me take a terrible guess.
Yep.
They always say that June weddings are the most popular month. Is it that there are newlyweds moving into new places? Is that like the force in May, June, and July that you were talking about?
No. Well, statistically, in my experience over the years, it really has a lot to do with the summer. And kids are out of school, so it's easier, more convenient to move them. Right. Also, you get a lot of people getting new jobs in the summer, so they're moving for work. The military tends to do a lot of their moves. We have a lot of contracts with military companies. They tend to do a lot of theirs in the summer. I don't know if that's the specifics on that, but I think it's most of that stuff. You do get a lot of people, a lot of college kids who are out of school for the summer, and maybe they're moving home, for the off season or whatever. So I think it's a combination of those things. The newlywed thing, we have had quite a few of those over the last 2 years, which we didn't get a lot of in recent past. So maybe that is becoming more of a thing, but I think it's more of the kids, the summer, you're like, oh, it's summertime. I want to go, I want to be in Florida right now when it's warm in the summer. So you get a lot of that. But yeah, probably May to October. All of that it gets crazy. It's busy. It's expensive, but you book in advance, you can save yourself a whole lot of money.
Well, besides calling Essential Moving Experts and my man Sean Williams at 305-602-8369, that's the top tip that you need for moving. Give me a tip that most people wouldn't even realize maybe when they're moving. It's their first time. They've never done it. What's one of the tips that you would tell them? Do this to make your life a little easier when you're moving, outside of calling Essential Moving Experts, of course.
Well, first thing I would say is start planning well in advance. Don't think you're going to plan a month in advance. Even if you don't know when the house is closing, you're not sure of where you're moving to yet, you haven't got out of your lease yet, just start the process. We're very, very flexible with you. So starting in advance is number one. Number two, I would say, is getting a very specific list of what you're moving. I can't tell you how many times people think they know what they're moving, and then they forget the stuff in the attic. They forgot the stuff in the basement. They realize that, oh, you know what? I don't want this china cabinet anymore. Oh, you know what? I'm going to buy new couches and bring those. Get an idea of what it is you're actually going to be moving. The more specific you can be on what you're moving, the easier your life is going to be. And then I always tell people,
how many times have people forgotten how many things are going to move and they needed a bigger truck?
Oh, it happens like 70% of the time. But we specialize in inventory. We actually created our own CRM software to do inventory. So it gives us specific dimensions of items. And we actually have a quality assurance person whose specific job, they're paid to pull out the inventory from you and remind you of things you forgot about. And suggest things and help you kind of consolidate your inventory and get a specific thing. But moving is stressful, but our job is to make moving easy for you. And
by the way, one of the things you do, we mention it all the time at Essential Moving Experts, if you're moving from one town to another or state to state or whatever, and maybe something isn't ready just yet, you will actually store things for people up to 30 days, I believe, correct?
Yeah, 30 days for free. Any additional month after that, we can work it out with you. Sometimes in summer, we do offer 60 depending on the circumstances, so we can go pretty well. But like you said, it's one of the perks of, if you don't know where you're going yet, or, the house that you're building a house and it hasn't closed, or, you can't get into your new lease, we can offer storage for you, store it for you in a climate control storage unit. Even give you access to it if you're nearby and need to get something. So that's super helpful. And the cost, I mean, if you can imagine how much storage costs to save a whole month of storage. We also do auto transport as well. So if you have a car you're shipping along, as well, or if you didn't even know that's a thing, yes, we can transport your vehicle for you. So you can just take a flight and you don't have to drive, however far it is. Lots of different options for you. Packing services, we can offer you packing supplies at a discounted rate instead of going to, Home Depot and paying top dollar. We have it all. So whatever it is you need, we can get it done. Just start your preparation in advance. And even like a small local move, if you're just moving down the street a few blocks, one of your listeners, he just moved from Miami to, I think, Davie, not very far. But you'd be surprised how much goes into just a short move like that, so
sure.
He booked, a few months ago, and we've knocked it out today, and it went really well.
Well, there you go. And you can call wherever you're at in the United States, man. Essential Moving Experts. Reach out to our guy, Sean, 305-602-8369. Proud supporter of our platform for a long time now. We really appreciate it. Go to the website so you can find out more at essentialmovingexperts.com. Sean, as always, my brother, appreciate you, my man. Have a rocking week, and we'll be at the Combine this week here. We'll be heading off tomorrow.
Forward to hearing your reports about that. And if the Dolphins go to the Super Bowl this year, free moves for a year for everybody.
There you go. There you go. All right, let's do it. And we're going to go to Super Bowl this year, bro.
I'm ready. It's in Vegas. That's my spot. I know it's your spot. We're gonna hang out. I got a Super Bowl fund in my savings account just for that. So
there you go. Sean is ready already. He's ready to hit the buffets.
Let's do it.
We're locked and loaded. Sean, much love, my brother. Appreciate you immensely.
I'll see you later, Big. I appreciate it.
You got it. Thank you, sir. There you go. Sean Williams, essentialmovingexperts.com, 305-602-8369. They're in Daytona, but they handle the entire country. You saw it right there. We had one of our listeners here in South Florida. We had another listener that was in New York moving, and another one, I think he told me, that was Washington, I believe. Yes, it was Washington. They were moving. So he's covered it all over the place. So if you need a moving company, please use the company that supports us. And he's a fellow Dolphin fan, too, on top of all of that. Sean Williams, Essential Moving Experts.